Yo, welcome to the No Pick Show where there's no hand holding. We do it facts, not emotion. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you haven't already. Please be sure to DM me your email address. You can enter in the raffle we're doing for the giveaway this upcoming preseason and for the regular season. So, Jake Fisher just put out a report, my Bleacher Report comrade. Jake Fisher put out a report saying that the 76ers are interested in moving Kelly Oubre. Now, Kelly Oubre has been a fan for a lot of teams, recently, especially since he's been with Philadelphia. He's known as a shot chucker. He's one of those guys, kind of like Nick Young, that you kind of just hope could take the next step at some point. And he may never do it. He may never do it. His reputation is as a inefficient shot chucker. You're a team. You need some scoring off the bench. Kelly Oubre is your guy. You know what I'm saying? You want to get into his numbers from last year. Nothing really stands out in a, a very positive light. He played 60 games. He started 57 of them. Paul George had his injury issues, but 29% from beyond the arc on 4 attempts, not really going to help the Pelicans. He's only shot 32% for his career, so it's not too far, below his average. 55% from the field overall, 15 points on 12 shot attempts. So what that tells you is that he needs to take a lot of shots to be a factor, just period. So the second unit. Defensively, you're not going to get much. He averaged about a steal and a half, so that ain't bad. Give you 6 rebounds. You could always use that. 1 assist. Yeah. He ain't really known to pass the ball. Free throw attempts. He gets to the line about what 2 times a game. He averaged 4 attempts, so that's about 2 trips to the line. It's interesting. He's making about $8 million. So say you wanted to send them Jordan Hawkins, whose option you're probably going to terminate anyway, because it goes from like $4.5 million to $7 million next year. So you're probably going to terminate that option anyway. Kelly Oubre is making about $8 million. The Pelicans have about an additional $4 million in space. Simple swap, give him Jordan Hawkins, take back Kelly Oubre. The only downside to that is you lose. Well, you'll still have that roster spot, but you'll lose that roster space from the luxury tax. Or hey, give him maybe give him Jose Alvarado, and you keep Jordan Hawkins, and I think you still have like a couple $100,000 away from the luxury tax space, away from the luxury tax like penalty. But Kelly Oubre, he was a person I was interested in some years ago when he was with Charlotte. But now he's 29, so this is who he is. And he never really blossomed into being that Jordan Clarkson 6th man of the year type guy. Jordan Crawford, Jay Crawford, like 6th man of the year type guy. He never really blossomed into that. He kind of just, like I said earlier, looks to be a bit of an inefficient shot chucker. But you can say that about Jordan Hawkins. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Hawkins hasn't been anything to write home about. The reason I think you still give Jordan Hawkins a chance is because of his age and where you drafted him. You drafted him at 14. But keep in mind, Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver, they aren't the guys that drafted Jordan Hawkins. So some of the pros for Kelly Oubre would be that he's from New Orleans. Maybe they didn't want to do a homecoming. I don't know where he's from in New Orleans, but he's from New Orleans. One of the things that benefit Jordan Hawkins in this scenario is that Jordan Hawkins is a DMV guy. He's from PG County, I believe. So we know Troy Weaver has an affinity for DMV guys. So maybe he'll say, nah, I'm going to stick with my youngin' and see what he can do. If it works out and Jordan Hawkins is really good this year, maybe you just terminate his option and bring him back on a similar contract. Maybe you bring him back on $5 million next year. Give him a small raise if you think he's going to be ascending. And Kelly Oubre is a 1-year thing. So if you got him, you're probably just letting him walk this offseason. But that's been today's show. Let me know what y'all think. How do y'all feel about bringing in Kelly Oubre? I know a lot of y'all fans, people have been telling me about this guy for years on Twitter or X, or, been telling me in the YouTube comments what y'all think about Kelly Oubre. The bench needs reinforcements. The Pelicans bench absolutely needs reinforcements. Right now, your go-to scorer on that second unit is looking like it's going to be Jordan Hawkins or Sadiq Bey. So you absolutely need somebody on that second unit that can be a threat and that can put the ball in the bucket. And these are the type of calculated risks you have to take. Ultimately, if it costs you, I don't even think it would cost the Pelicans a second, to be honest. It might just be cash. Like you're saying, ultimately, if you think adding Kelly Oubre to the second unit gives you a little more offensive punch, gives you a little more room for error in the event that there is an injury to the front court during the regular season, I say go for it. You know what I'm saying? I do not hate the idea. But that's what today's show. Y'all let me know what y'all think. In or out, you know what I'm saying? It's not nothing to put too much thought into, honestly. Kelly Oubre, he cool. And you would hope that it would work out in the big picture. But I don't really. I think the bud is off the rose, or the rose is off the bud when you talk about that acquisition. But I'm out. Peace.